everyone, welcome to Caketastic Cakes. It's Jen, and from this little overview here, I'm going to show you how I made an Easter cake using the top cake forward style. And I'm getting away from the Easter bunnies, going more religious with this one. So, see me use any tools or supplies you can use, check the link in the description below. It'll take you to my website, which will help you out. And now get ready for the full-length tutorial. Okay, so this is just a cake that I made for fun because I'm going to get to see my family for Easter, and I wanted to bring something that wasn't, you know, another Easter bunny cake. That's really what it was. I wanted to get more into the religious aspect of it, and I figured a cake top forward would be a great way to start. So I got my 6-inch cake here, like I said. I dirty iced it, and I'm going to stick it in the fridge for about half an hour. Now, I did use Italian meringue icing on this. I really should have used just American buttercream, just because it crusts up and it's a little firmer, but I did use the Italian meringue. I just had to make sure it stayed really cold, and then it did work. It's just, I would have personally liked to have seen a little more strength coming out of it next time around. But anyway, okay, I took it out of the fridge, so it is nice and chilled. I'm doing another layer of icing on it. This is more of the Italian meringue. I had dyed it just a very light shade of gray to give it more of a stone, I guess, look for the tomb. So yes, now once I have it iced, and I try to make it as nice and neat as possible, which for me is sometimes hard to do, I'm going to put it into the freezer afterwards. So I really did try to make it as nice and neat, nice sharp edges. Okay, stuck it in the freezer. So now it's like pretty much frozen. I left it in there for maybe 20 minutes, so it's very firm. I'm going to take a very sharp knife, just cut off a little bottom chink of it there, so now it can sit up on its base. And while it's still nice and cold, I'm going to flip it over and ice the other side. What I'm going to do in this situation, though, is I'm going to take a piece of wax paper or parchment paper and, you know, flip it over onto there. And then real quick, again, this is where I kind of wish I had used the different icing. I'm going to cover the other side as best I can. There's no dirty icing coating on this side. This is going to be the back of the cake, so honestly, don't care. It's really what it comes down to. Yes. So I'm going up over my edges. I'm trying to make it nice and smooth as quickly as I can because since I did stick it in the freezer, my icing is setting up and becoming hard, you know, firmer very quickly. So it leaves you less time to make any corrections, to smooth it out as nice as you can, whatever. So again, this is just how I do it. Other people maybe have a better way or a different way of doing it. But this is what I did, and it did work. So, yeah, why fix what ain't broke, right? Okay, now I've got my icing on the back side, trying to patch it up as best I can. Make sure my sides are nice and even, and it's ready to stand up. And again, because this is the Italian meringue buttercream icing, I want to touch it as little as possible because the heat from my fingers is just like zapping right into it, making it soft again. So I did push it over to the side a little bit. I don't know if you noticed. And now I'm going to show you real quick my gum paste decorations that I made. I used gum paste. If you have fondant, feel free to use fondant. I don't think it would make a difference in this case since they are going on the side of the cake. They're not freestanding or anything. So, but anyway, I use gum paste here. So I used gum paste, rolled out that nice long piece. I'm using that, oh, what is it called? I don't know, some kind of a flower cutter thing to make these shapes, and then I cut them separately, as you saw, kind of like a star pattern, in order to make little leaves. I wanted to make interesting shaped leaves that were all basically the same shape and that were a decent size, not too big, because again, 6-inch cakes aren't real big, so you can't go too crazy with your sizes here. Now I just cut between the leaves, as you can see, smooth off the edges if you need to do that, which some of them I do because some of my cuts are a little jaggedy or raggedy. So you just, you know, pinch it, shape it however you need, and then you got it. And because it was gum paste, it did set up a little bit, so my little stem is nice and firm there. But yeah, I just pressed it on again because this is just the icing. My gum paste decorations just stuck right to it. If you do feel like they're not sticking, put a little dab of some soft icing on the back, and then it will stick right to it. Nice and pretty, right? And because I was doing the tomb, I wanted it to be, you know, respectful, but still cheerful and pretty as well. Okay, now moving on, I've got my gum paste that I have dyed a light shade of gray. I rolled out it, pretty thin. It's got a little thickness to it, so it has some support. And I made a big mountain and then like a little mountain there. All I did was just, cut loop-de-loops and put the one on top of the other. This is my cross that I'm making. This is a copper colored. It's not brown, again, because I wanted the colors to be more bright and cheerful. And I didn't want like dark, somber colors. I wanted it to still feel, spring and coming back to life, as it were. All right, so I am just freestyling my cross here. If you decided you can't handle that, then just go get yourself a template. They're everywhere, easily available. Print it out, trace and copy it. And once you're happy with it, I'm just taking a little piece of spaghetti, putting it on the back of it with another little piece of gum paste to hold it in place. And that way I can stand it right into the top of my mountain there. And this way, all right, so what I did was I held it up behind the cake, and I'm going to have it angled off to the side so you can, as you can see in the little picture in the corner there. And I realized that the mountain part stuck out too far. So I'm just taking an X-Acto knife and going back and re-trimming it. So I'm just kind of trimming it down so it's more of, I guess, a cliff edge than a sloping hill. So now, as you can see, it fits on my cake plate properly. And that's also why I did have my cake pushed off to the side. It's not properly centered, so I had room for that to show. Okay, now I just rolled out some dark blue gum paste. It's actually a mix of purple and blue that I had a couple colors sitting around. Again, going for colors. I didn't want black. I wanted to stay attractive and colorful. Rolled it very thin and just cut out a circle and took the edge off. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this gray. This is more of the gray gum paste that I made my first mountain set from. I'm going to put my circle on top there so I have them matching up, and that's going to be the entrance to my tomb, just like that. And then the rock that was rolled away, just like that. So there you go, right? And again, I wanted it to be a little bit more pretty, a little bit more colorful, a little more cheerful. So I'm using this Wilton flower stamp kit. It's, again, if you want something like this, if you follow the link to my website, you'll see it listed. It's an affiliate link, so you can follow along there and help me out as well. But anyway, I digress. I printed out some pink flowers, very light, soft pink color in the smallest flower I could. If I had done a bigger cake, I would have gone with a bigger flower and maybe even a different kind. But trying to keep it simple, trying to keep it pretty. So I stamped out a bunch of these things, and then I'm going to place them on my tomb. So yes, on the top corner there, I'm going to place a little cluster right by the top of my rock. Going to place a few more, going to place a couple on the other side, move them around until I'm happy with them. And then there it is. You got your He is Risen cake. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe because it really just helped me out as well. I've got a lot of other videos out there, so please take a look. And as always, thank you for watching Caketastic Cakes.